Welcome to day 5 of our watercolor fruit series. Today we are bringing a classic to life, a fresh juicy apple with rich reds, soft highlights and crisp details. Let's dive in. Here's a quick look at the pencil sketch I'll be working with today. A cross section, a slice and a whole apple. Feel free to pause here and sketch along before we start painting. Let's paint the apple slices first. I'm going to mix a very light watery wash of cadmium yellow, and then using my size 6 round brush, I'm going to wet the surface of the apple slice. Then I'm going to softly drop the yellow wash from the sides and allow it to softly blend onto the wet surface. Once that is in place, I'm going to add a hint of yellow ochre to the same yellow and mix a slightly darker shade. Then using my size 1 round brush, I'm going to drop in this darker wash around the center line and the sides of the apple slice. I am slowly going to build these layers as I increase the intensity of the shade. So at the moment I'm still using a soft mix of cadmium yellow and ochre, and then to build an even darker layer I'm adding more of the yellow ochre and just placing it along the edges. And because I'm using a small size brush, the color is not going to spread too much, and that's exactly what I want. I'm going to blend everything nicely around the same area without spreading the color too much. I'm going to repeat the exact same steps to paint the smaller slice. Okay, now that we are done with the slices, we will paint the whole apple. For that I'm going to mix 2 shades of red onto my palette, a cadmium red hue and some alizarin crimson with a hint of rose madder. As you can see, there is a subtle difference between the two mixes, but later we will also use darker pigmented and thicker mixes of these colors as we will do lots of shading. Wet the entire surface of the whole apple while leaving a highlight on the right hand side. Then using a clean moist brush, I'm going to begin drop in some red color and allow it to blend and flow downward. Then I'm also going to drop in hints of yellow and green. After that, I'm going to continue to drop in the red paints we mixed earlier and slowly blend the colors as we build darker layers steadily. I'm going to slowly lift some paint off using a clean moist brush to create some texture. Continue dropping darker pigments and blend everything nicely. Try to retain the highlight and base colors as much as possible and make sure you're not covering everything with darker layers. As a final layer, I have mixed a bit of brown to my mix of alizarin crimson and rose madder. It is a nice deep burgundy color that I'm going to use near the top and bottom portion of the apple to create some shadows and contrasts. Blend everything slowly. And then I'm going to use a clean tissue to lift off some paint from the center portion of the apple to create a soft texture on the surface. And then I'm going to load my brush with some water and drop in some water droplets on the surface of the apple. And as a last final step, I'm going to drop in some more of the darker pigment that we mixed earlier and create a beautiful contrast. Now let's go back to both the slices and paint the red skin peeking through. Use a small size round brush to paint these smaller portions. Switching to my size 4 long round brush and using the fine tip of the brush, I'm going to outline the apple slices to show the peel. Go over slowly and don't press down your brush too much to avoid thick lines. Then I'm going to blur out the sharp lines using my size 1 round brush and blend everything nicely around the edges. I'm going to repeat the same steps for the smaller slice as well. Let's paint the leaves now. For that, I'm going to mix some sap green on my palette. I also have a softer green to which I've added a bit of yellow. I'm loosely going to paint the leaves using my size 6 round brush and do some light shading. This is pretty straightforward and fuss free. Now for the stems, we will mix some brown and a bit of black. Loosely go over the stems and gently apply the brown paint. Top it up with some darker brown pigment for shading. Blend everything together. Similarly, paint the small stem of the cross-section apple slice. Now very quickly we will paint the back side of the whole apple as visible from the front. Fill in that area using a small size round brush and carefully go around the stem area. Next, we will use the same brown paint to paint in the seeds seen on the apple slices. Now let's quickly add some veins to the leaves for added texture. And just like that, we are done. I love how these apples turned out, juicy and bright. If you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more such watercolor tutorials. Thanks for painting along and feel free to explore other fruits in this series.